This is chapter 6, and it's much shorter. So much happened in chapter 5. So we went to Violet breaks again into Herbie's room with the croissant. They look for her parent. They clean up. They look for her parents' suitcase. They find the shoes. Herbie tricks Amber and steals the key, and they go to 407. Chapter 6. A coin for the mermonkey. When I reach room 407, I'm puffed out, but it doesn't sound like old Mollusk is following me. I turn the key in the lock and push through into the dark beyond. Room 407 is nothing special. It's the cheapest accommodation the hotel provides. Accommodation is like room, place to stay, accommodates. Still, the ceilings are high and the furniture has a grandness about it, despite being old. In the single tall window, dark blue velvet curtains hang to the floor. Glooming the room. I pull them open and blink in the light. "Let me in quick," says Violet in a muffled voice. She's crouching on the tiny balcony outside. Anyone could see me here. So she doesn't want to be seen outside. Herbie doesn't want her to be seen inside. Let me get settled. All right. I open the window and she darts inside, followed by a hard as nails sea wind. "Who?" I said. "Who could see you?" "I don't know," she says, pulling her borrowed coat tight around her and looking fearfully over her shoulder. "Anyone." I walked out onto the balcony and start polishing the rail with my cuff, as though it's my job. A few people hurry against the wind on the cobbles below. The pier, which stretches out into the sea ahead, is empty. The tide is in, pounding the seawall, and the wind moans around the railings and lampposts, carrying with it a hint of fish and chips from Siegel's Diner. A bank of dark clouds towers on the horizon as if it's just waiting for the right moment to dump a mountain of snow on the old town. I nip back inside. "I don't think you were seen," I say, but my words trail off as a low moan reaches us from far away, sharpening to a monstrous shrieking roar that rolls around. Sorry, I need a sip of water. As a low moan reaches us from far away, sharpening to a monstrous shrieking roar that rolls around the distant horizon. "What was that?" says Violet. I close the window hurriedly and fasten the catch. "They say it's just the wind." "They say it's just the wind," asks Violet, or it is just the wind?" I prefer to think it's just the wind. I straighten my cap. "Don't you?" So we've got this. They keep, every once in a while, they go back and tell you how gloomy and cold and windy it is. But Violet doesn't seem to be listening anymore. She is standing in the middle of the room, looking around in wonder, and then I remember that she's been here before. I was only a baby, yet it feels like what, I say. "Oh, nothing." She gives me a sheepish grin, but this is the closest I've been to Mom and Dad since, I say. "But that was 12 years ago. I don't know what you're hoping to find in here now." Every time I rehearse what would happen if I came back to the hotel, Herbie, I imagine there would be luggage, other things that my parents had left besides me. I imagine there would be clues. Now it looks as if this room might be my only chance to find one. I shrug. Then I get down on the floor and start poking around under the bed. Anything we find here could have been left by any of the guests who have stayed here since. But Violet must know that already, so I don't see any need to point it out. After about 5 minutes of cobwebs and dust, we stop. There's nothing here. For a moment, I wonder if we should climb up and look in the small chandelier, but I already know there's nothing there either. "Did you look in the wardrobe?" I say. "Twice." "Well, we should go then. You'll have to climb back down the fire escape, I'm afraid." "Climb," says Violet, snapping her fingers. "Of course. I didn't look on the wardrobe." She grabs the spindly chair from under the tiny desk and pulls it over to the wardrobe. In a moment, she's teetering on top of it in her mother's boots, rummaging around in a cloud of dust of her own making. Doesn't anyone ever clean in this hotel? There are hundreds of rooms, I say. And anyway, why would anyone clean up there? Because of these, says Violet, and she jumps down from the chair. She's holding a bunch of papers and pieces of cards and things, which she spreads out on the bed. There are several receipts, tags that have been cut off, vacation clothes. There are several receipts, tags that have been cut off, vacation clothes, a foreign coin, 2 playing cards, and aha! Cries Violet, snatching something up in both hands. It's the size of a postcard and has a line of numbers and letters printed on it. Violet cries, yes, and holds it up to me. On the back of the card is a drawing of a crooked little monkey, or is it a chimp, in a top hat, a monkey with a fishtail. And rummaging back here, when she was rummaging, is kind of going through something in a fast way, in a not very careful way. In a moment, Violet has pulled out the dog-eared card that she keeps on a ribbon around her neck. She holds them both up. They match. The numbers and letters are different, I say, and any one of the guests who have stayed here could have left that card. What? Violet looks unimpressed. Are you saying it's a coincidence that 2 such freaky postcards just happen to be in the same room at the same time and they're not connected? How can you say that unless, she turns to me, unless you know something about these cards? I straighten my cap again and meet her gaze, almost. So he's kind of looking away because he's feeling a little guilty, I think, that he didn't tell her before. Herbie, you know something, don't you? You recognize those weird monkey cards. Okay, maybe I do, I say a bit mumbly. When were you going to tell me? Violet demands, and I wonder again why I didn't say something when I first saw the card around Violet's neck. Then I remember it was because I didn't want to encourage this whole detective nonsense. That's why. And yet here I am the next day stealing keys and searching for clues and helping a secret girl climb up the fire escape. It's probably about time I just give in and accept that I am on the case now, whether I like it or not. So my little note here was that he chooses to help her. Okay, so I'm thinking, what does this say about her? I know it says he's helpful and he's a good friend, something. I'm just trying to put Herbie together. Maybe he wants a little adventure. It's a prescription. It's a prescription card from the Erie Book Dispensary, I say, throwing my hands up in surrender. Most people around here have them. It's really nothing unusual. Nothing unusual. Violet is starting to get cross, I can tell. That means angry. If it's nothing unusual, why do I have no idea on earth what do you call it? A prescription card, I say, from the Erie Book Dispensary. Why do I have no idea what that even is? You know how people go to see a doctor to get medicine? I say, well, this is the same, only with books. The stories are like the medicine, see? But I can tell from Violet's face that she doesn't. I say, scooping up the rubbish from the bed and flicking the coin to Violet, I think it would be best if I took you there to see for myself. So I love the idea of this bookstore. And so my quick is they go to room 407, they find the monkey card, and I keep asking, why is he helping? And now they're off to the bookstore. And that is chapter 6.